皆さんこんにちは、ジェームズです。今日はお茶の健康効果について少しお話をしたいと思います。So I'm going to talk a little bit about the health constituents and the health benefits of drinking green tea. And all of this information comes straight from this book. And so I'm just going to do my best to help try to explain a little bit of what I just read. I finished up one chapter on tea, on health as it relates to tea. Okay. So, the health properties found in tea work synergistically with one another, and the details shared below are taken from the Nihon Cha Kentei official text. Further research can be done on each specific section presented. The book goes into some specifics for each section, but I have only broadly outlined them and the main points just to save my own time. It would take me all day to get this stuff to a point where I would be happy with sharing it fully. So just very quickly, no time, a lot of words. Katekin in Japanese, katekin, how do you say it in English? In Japanese it's katekin, so I'm just going to say like the Japanese version, katekin. Katekin is the leading player among health components of tea. Katekin was originally given its name in 1832 as the crystallized extract was derived from the Acacia katachu. In 1929, Tsujimura and her team, Tsujimura Michio-san and her team, discovered amounts of katekin in green tea. Right? Katekin produces the pungent flavor of tea, or the bitter flavor, or the astringent flavor, and is the most prominent flavor of tea, which is interesting. Katekin also plays many roles in the constitution of tea and is garnering more and more attention and research as more is discovered about it. And there's so many health benefits tied and associated to katekin, so let's jump into them. One main health benefit contributed by katekin is the antioxidant effect, and it is a property that halts active enzymes from attacking the various formations within the body. Katekin also produces bactericidal, deodorization, and other detoxification effects within the body. So after katekin, which will be referred to in just about each section after this, there is theanine, and in Japanese it's called theanine, and I'm not confident in how to pronounce this in English, so I'll just stick again to the Japanese of theanine, or not theanine, right? Theanine. Theanine is an amino acid detected in tea. It was detected by Sakato Yojino in 1950, and is peculiar to tea leaves, not being found in cocoa, or coffee. Yeah. So theanine produces a fresh, sweet, and good umami flavor, which tends to be found in higher grades of sencha or green tea. It has a mysterious effect of bringing about relaxation. So when relaxed, the brain produces alpha waves and greater levels of concentration, right? 200 milligrams of theanine, about the equivalent of the amount of theanine which is found in 10 milligrams of high-quality sencha, has shown to produce significant production of alpha waves just 30 minutes after ingestion in an EEG test at Taiyo Kagaku, which is a food and R&D company found in Tokyo, Japan. Theanine also mitigates the stimulating effects of caffeine so that a balanced state of relaxation and tension can be achieved. In a relaxed state, muscle tension is softened and the blood vessels expand and circulation is therefore improved, and the chilliness of hands and feet is reduced, making it particularly beneficial to women. I guess women are more prone to have chilly hands and feet. The Bodhidharma, who was born in India and is the originator of Zen in China around the end of the 5th century and the beginning of the 6th century, is said to have chewed on tea leaves to avoid drowsiness when training in the Zazen meditation posture. So caffeine was first extracted in 1819 by German physicist. In the book it says in Japanese Urunge, and I guess that I'm not sure his actual name, but his name is Urunge in Japanese. From coffee he extracted. It was later discovered in tea, caffeine, in 1827. Caffeine produces a refreshingly bitter flavor in tea and plays an important role in bringing a balanced flavor to your cup of tea. So caffeine is also important in the overall flavor of tea, or so it seems. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system and accelerates diuresis through the kidneys. And in Japanese in the book it says shinzo, and I don't think that it's referring to heart, but maybe gall, maybe not gallbladder, but just gall. And it also produces secretion of gastric acids, helping with the digestion and absorption of foods, as well as in Japanese it's unagasu, and contributing to the decomposition or bunkai of body fat. Caffeine is soon absorbed after consumption and hits a peak in the bloodstream in about 30 minutes to 1 hour afterwards. However, thanks to the tranquilizing effect of theanine, which is also in tea, the caffeine effect is softened, or yawarageru in Japanese. This makes tea a mysterious drink in that the caffeine-theanine synthesis is like a cushion between hitting acceleration and brake, as both effects are produced at the same time, making tea quite a mysterious drink. Vitamin C in tea doesn't break down. Right. Vitamin C is very easily disintegrated, and it's nutrient and is a nutrient that is not readily stored in the body. When in deficiency, scurvy in Japanese called kaiketsubyo, and lowered immunity come about, as just about anyone knows, it's common knowledge, which is why about 100 milligrams per day of the vitamins for the average adult is recommended. However, not so well known is the fact that vitamin C is found in abundance in sencha green tea, the amount tending to be higher in higher grades of green tea. So drinking 4 to 5 cups a day of sencha allows you to get about 30 to 50% of the recommended value of vitamin C. You might think, but isn't vitamin C weak against heat? Is it really okay to take with hot water? Doesn't it dissolve or lose its value? Indeed, vitamin C is by nature easily destroyed at elevated temperatures and is extremely easily oxidized and weak in alkaline solutions. That's why vegetables that are boiled for about 10 minutes lose 50% of their vitamin C value. However, vitamin C in tea is relatively stable and difficult to be broken down thanks to the protective function of catechin. Also, vitamin C is easily dissolved into water when, for example, washing them and boiling them. So taking in vitamin C by tea is probably a more effective way of consumption if you like tea. Vitamin C found in produce is produced through exposure to sunlight, which is why open air cultivation of sencha contains higher levels of vitamin C than teas cultivated under covers, such as matcha or gyokuro. In Japanese, we call this method of cultivation hifuku saibai. Hifuku saibai is, the aim of that is to reduce the sunlight hitting the tea leaves, because the theanine that's found in the tea leaves will convert into catechin, which brings about the pungent flavor. So for high qualities of tea, you want to keep it sweet and nice, so you cover up to avoid the sunlight. However, this is saying that vitamin C comes about by being hit by sunlight, so you wouldn't want to use hifuku saibai. You probably just want to use open air, and that's called uroten saibai in Japanese. Right, vitamin C is easily oxidized, so teas that are produced through extra fermentation, and in the world of tea we use the word fermentation to refer to how far the oxidization process or the oxidase enzyme is allowed to take effect within the tea. So for example, half fermented teas, or about half allowed to oxidize teas, would include oolong tea, whereas fully fermented teas, where the oxidization is completely carried out, would be like black tea. Green tea, on the other hand, is non-fermented tea, so the oxidization process is stopped through steaming or pan frying as soon as possible. Right, so half fermented teas like oolong have maybe just a little bit of vitamin C, and fully fermented teas like black tea contain no vitamin C whatsoever. So if you're looking to get vitamin C through a drink or tea, then green tea, sencha, fukamushi sencha especially, is the way to go. Okay. So the antioxidant, I'm about 9 minutes right now, so I'll give it a few more minutes before I cut this video off and start the next one. I'm not sure how long I can make videos before I am unable to upload them on YouTube, because I'm not very wizardly or wise about YouTube or uploading videos or even making videos, as is really very evident. So the antioxidant effect of tea is another key player in the health benefits of drinking tea. It suppresses the phenomenon of oxidization that occurs within the body and retards the aging process of the body system while preserving immunity. For people prone to physical and mental stress or large exposure to ultraviolet rays, and those who smoke, there's a flea, there's a, how do you say it? Not a flea, there's a mosquito flying around. You're right, okay. By the way, that would be ka, right, in Japanese. For people who smoke, the metabolization and renewal of oxygen becomes unsmooth, and the reactive oxygen or free radicals will injure the inside of the body without discrimination. So I would just like to bring up a page that I found online really quick to extrapolate on that. But I think that's just an extra mouthful I don't need, so I might skip on that. But it just talks about ROS levels, and ROS refers to reactive oxygen species. Levels can increase dramatically through stress, for example, due to UV or heat exposure. This may result in significant damage to cell structures. Cumulatively, this is known as oxidative stress. So there's a lot of information online about this stuff too, if you are interested to look into detail about the science behind it. But I'm too tired. This video is already making me a little bit worn. It's too long, too much talking. Anyway, so if this occurs frequently over a long period of time, it leads to an increase of aging and lifestyle diseases. For example, when a blood vessel structure is oxidized, the vessel loses its flexibility. In Japanese, they would say that as junansei, and hardens. And arteriosclerosis, in Japanese, that's domyaku kouka, comes about, right? So, the catechin, which is abundantly found in tea, contains a function which works to eliminate free radicals. One of the main culprits of oxidization is stress, with actually mental stress being more harmful than physical stress. Therefore, the relaxing effect of theanine in tea can perhaps be said to be the first step toward warning off disease. So I think the next part that I would like to get into after the free radicals is high blood pressure. What does tea have to do with high blood pressure? How does tea prevent high blood pressure? And again, each section that is covered refers back to the catechin. It's a super